What's up everybody, Ripper Smash here. Today we're going to deep dive into the Jagdpanzer E90. This tank only drops from large boxes, but is the E90 actually worth spending real money on? To be honest, I could show you numbers and stats of the tank, which there will be some, but you can read and find that for yourself on many tank websites and in-game. What you will see is other aspects of gameplay that are not always talked about. If you want honest breakdowns that help you play better and spend smarter in World of Tanks, hit subscribe and let's get into it. The Jagdpanzer E90 is a strong Tier 9 assault TD. This tank has excellent front armor and a powerful 750 alpha gun, making it strong against heavy tanks and supporting heavy pushes. This tank is currently only available by purchasing large boxes in Holiday Ops. Go to the in-game store to see prices of the boxes in your region. Please note, this isn't financial advice. All I'm doing is showing you the strong and weak points of this tank, and my personal opinion on it. What you do with your money is on you. Classic Jagdpanzers like the Jagdpanzer E100, Jagdpanther, and Jagdtiger are built around long firing lanes, DPM over time, and farming from concealment. Their win conditions are consistent large damage over time. You don't play the Jagdpanzer E90 like a traditional Jagdpanzer because it doesn't win through DPM and sniping. It wins through presence, pressure, and punishment. The gun of the Jagdpanzer E90 isn't built for sniping. If you do try to snipe, the limited traverse at only 5% either side means you have to turn your whole tank when trying to snipe. This makes your bloom larger and means you take longer to aim when snap shooting. The camo and silhouette also work against you. This tank is large, not as big as the Jagdpanzer E100, but still large in silhouette. This also means that it gets spotted easier by tanks with higher visibility. Don't even try to out camo enemies in this tank, it doesn't work. The gun on this tank is built for high alpha shots with high penetration. This is perfect for overmatching enemy heavy tank armor and punishing mistakes. This, coupled with an excellent front armor when hulled down and a -9 degree gun depression, makes it a force to be reckoned with when holding lines. The Jagdpanzer E90 isn't a sniper TD, it's a pressure tank. You're meant to hold space, punish mistakes, and force trades. The Jagdpanzer E90 does 750 damage on average per shot, sometimes more. This is damage that changes how people play. One shot like this doesn't just take HP from the enemy, which can be done by most TDs. What this tank does is it forces hesitation. Enemy players stop pushing. They second guess peeks and trades, and that gives your team time and space to effectively eliminate threats. Although I find it exhilarating to hit big shots with this tank, that is not the whole of what you are doing. You are controlling their behavior as well by instilling a bit of fear into their gameplay. This fear causes hesitation in some and outright mistakes in others. That is where this tank is powerful and excels. Okay, let's get the weak points in the armor out of the way. The front bottom plate and cupola are targeted spots on this tank, so if you ever have to play against it, target those areas. Where this tank works so well is when the armor is slightly angled up properly in a hull down position. What I mean by this is having your front lower plate hidden behind a rock or hill and be on enough of an upward angle to also be able to hide your cupola from enemies. This can be a hard skill to master, but after you try it a few times, you will get the hang of it rather quickly. You will also notice that people rock back and forth. Given the reload on this tank, this tactic makes sense as you are trying to make it harder for enemies to hit your weak spot. Remember not to turn your tank too much to one side or the other, as the sides of this tank are weak. Alright, you say you've got great front armor, a powerful gun, and good gun depression, so what? Well, you also need some patience and discipline. This tank gives you the tools to hold lines and cause mistakes. Enemies will go out of their way to try to do damage to you, and with your powerful gun, you can punish them for it. So use the armored strengths of this tank to your advantage. This tank is brutal in tight lanes when deployed early. You want to get into choke points as soon as possible to avoid being caught in the open. You should be deciding this in the pre-game after seeing what tanks are on the enemy team. Once you get set up, enemies have two choices: trade badly or leave. If they trade badly, you control the action in the lane. If they leave, your team wins map control. Deploying early is key to this. Once you are in position, you don't rotate. You anchor and hold your lane as best as possible while blowing holes in the enemy tank. This should then give your team the time to win your line or push other lines successfully. This tank is slow. At a top speed of 28 kilometers an hour, it is going to take you time to get into positions. This is the cost of this tank. Slow to start, slow to reposition. That means that once you commit to a lane, you must own it. If the fight moves or the enemy team starts to die quickly, you are not catching up. This tank punishes bad deployment harder than most TDs. Get caught out in the open or late into position and enemies have a clean shot on your side. This tank requires patience. If you miss or rush a shot, the 18-second reload time will give the opposing team an opening. There is no DPM safety net in this tank, therefore every shot needs to be intentional and count. The way to combat this is to move into position with other tanks and make the best use of your armor while reloading. The fear factor talked about previously may give you an edge, as people are less likely to push you when they may lose 750 HP or more depending on what tanks are with you. We've been over how traditional Jagdpanzers play, but this is where this tank is different. Here are 3 rules for Jagdpanzer E96S. Number 1. Commit early, but don't chase damage. This means choose where you're going to be before the battle starts, as you will pay for it later in the game. Overexposing your weaknesses to get shots isn't how you win your lane either. Use your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. Number 2. Angle first, shoot second. Once in position, at a choke point, or the beginning of a lane that offers shots, make sure you are angled and defending properly before you take shots. This will allow you to make the best use of your positioning and allow you to confidently take your time in aiming to minimize misses. Number 3. Trade hit points, don't bleed. Make smart trades. Most heavy tanks won't be able to keep up with your damage. Make the most of it and punish them for overexposing, pushing at the wrong time, or being out of position. Don't overcommit on your end and expose yourself to enemy fire. Be patient and make the shots that will hurt the enemy the most. You can see the power of this tank here by being able to take on 2 tier 10 tanks and outplay them. Some of it was skill, but most of it was knowing where my weaknesses are and trying to minimize them. To be honest, learning the strengths and weaknesses in armor for the tanks you play will put you ahead of about 70% of the casual players out there. It is worth it to spend the time learning this. Unfortunately, this game was ultimately a loss, as I made the wrong choice in pushing up to try to proxy spot the can opener and lost. Here is a full game on Safe Haven that highlights all of this tank's strengths and weaknesses. Let's see if you can point them out. If you watched my last video, then this will make more sense to you. But as you can see here, over 15 games in the Jagdpanzer E90, we made 2.186 million credits with boosters running. Turns out this tank may be not so bad as a credit monster either. Final verdict. If you like mobile TDs or sniping, skip this tank. If you like controlling lanes, forcing mistakes, and deleting heavy tanks, this might be worth it for you. If you want more honest tank breakdowns, holiday ops value guides, and gameplay that actually explains why things work, then hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and have a happy holiday ops.